Yeah, hi everyone. Let's get started with today's session and agenda. As we already know, it will be second session for us. So let's look into today's session agenda, what we will cover for the day. Mostly we will cover some of the programming constructs, then operators, arithmetic operators, unary operators, relational operators, along with that conditional operators and ternary operators. We will also try to understand the process flow statements, like if else, then after that switch case. So that will be the basic agenda for the day, and with each and every topic whatever we will cover, we will try to make it more of hands on. We will cover with some examples related to it, so it will be completely hands on in today's session. So let's get started with some activity now. I believe everyone has enrolled to Replit and Code Wars, right? Because that will be mandatory for the day. We need to have access to both. Okay, fair enough. So let's get started with first activity. As part of first activity, we will try to understand the command line arguments. So everyone, please open your Replit account. Then after that, we will get started with activity and we will do coding together. Guys, please open your Replit account so that we can get started with it. Okay, so before we get started with coding, right, let's try to build some theoretical understanding. What do we mean by command line arguments? So basically, command line arguments are nothing but the input from user. What do you understand by command? Command in general in English means that you are giving some order, right? You are trying to say something. Then here it is command line argument. So it means that when you are trying to give your input to your JVM, so along with that, you will specify some arguments also. If you want to execute your program, last session we saw that Java C was used to compile our code. Then along with that we had Java command, and Java we were making use to execute our program. But now while executing our program, what if I want to specify some arguments? How are you going to do that? So at that moment, right, command line arguments plays a role. With those commands, along with that, you can specify something which you want to give as input. So if everyone is able to recall, we saw this in our previous session that this public static void main was expecting some string args, right? So now we can specify this string args as input to the user. So as part of this first activity, we will try to understand how we are going to pass this string args. So everyone, please try to write some print statement. And in those print statement, right, since we have already covered the array concept, try to print the first element from the array and then another print statement with the second element from array. Can you guys try to write that code? Array concept we have already covered in previous session. So I guess now we will be able to print the first element and second element from array. That is at index 0 and index 1. So write simple print statement to get the element from 0th index and first index. Everyone, please give it a try.
Sorry, ma'am, I joined late. Can you please repeat the question which was done in last 5 to 7 minutes?
Okay, so basically we have just started with the command line arguments. What do we mean by command line arguments? So command line arguments is nothing but you are supposed to give input on the basis of command lines. Like whenever you are trying to run your code, along with that you will give inputs. So those inputs, right, whatever you will pass as command line argument, that will be stored in your string args. So as a part of this activity, we are just trying to write two print statements. In first print statement, we will take element 0 from this args, and in second print statement, we will take element 1 from this args command line argument. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fair enough. Can I attend this session without Java 1? Sorry, I did not get your question. Can you please elaborate that? This is Java 1 course itself. So Mushtaba, sorry, I did not get your question. This is Java 1 session itself. So you are in Java 1. Okay, you missed previous session. Actually, what I'll suggest, you should have seen the recording at least from the previous session, because in our last session, we covered the basic of programming, what Java is all about, what is Java, then basic declaration, basic syntax of Java. So in case if you're not familiar with programming, then it might be a bit difficult for you to understand today's session. Do you have at least some knowledge of Java, any programming? Okay, fair enough. Then I think you are good to go. If you have some understanding about any programming language, I guess it will be fine. But what I'll suggest, please try to go through at least recording from next time before you attend the next session. Okay, fair enough. So guys, any doubt related to what is command line argument, or is this clear for everyone?
Ma'am, how to take inputs in the command line?
Yes, that I'll cover. That I haven't covered yet. I just want you guys to write two print statement, simple print statement, something like this. You're just going to take argument 0 and argument 1. So just write two simple print statement. Is everyone able to do this? Guys, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your doubts in case of any concerns. Because this is the basic course which will be laid down for all the further sprints. Okay, fair enough. Now we are able to write the print statement. We are able to read the args of 0 and args of 1. But now we are not sure how to pass this. In our previous session, we executed some basic commands, right? That was Java C command in order to compile our code. Then after that, Java command in order to run the compiled code. So can we pass arguments along with that? Can we give it a try? First, compile your code. Then after that, while running your program, try to pass two values with the space separated. Just try to do that and see if you are able to get the output. Guys, I can give the command directly, but I want you guys to try it once. Everyone, please give it a try. First, try to compile your code. And once you have compiled your code, try to run the compiled program with two values which are space separated. And see if you are able to get those values printed. In case if you guys are able to do it, please paste your answers in chat window. Guys, please paste your command in chat window so that I can verify it once. Yes, correct. Guys, please paste your command line argument. What value you have passed as command line. Please provide that. I see answers from Ayush. That's the correct one. Then from Yash, yes, that's the correct one. Mushtaba, we are using Replit. I guess you might have to go through the recording part in order to get started with Replit. Basically, you need to create an account on Replit. Then post that, you can just execute your program. Let me provide you URL. In case if you are able to figure out, you can try to do that right now itself. Try to create an account with Cryo credentials and try to execute the program. Because everything today is going to be on Replit and Code Wars.
Ma'am, my Replit terminal is hanged. What to do?
Try to reload that. It should work fine. It goes to non-responding mode at times. It's just their tool error. Try to reload it. Ayush, okay, fair enough. Since you have joined now, so we are just going through basic concept of command line argument, how to pass values from command line. So basically, this string args, we are trying to read the values of these string args. So we have just written two print statement. After that, we will try to compile our code, and while running the main class, we will try to pass the values of args of 0 and args of 1.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I have tried it, but I'm getting an error. It says could not find or load main class.
Main.class. Okay, you might have not compiled your code. Just run the Java C command to compile your code.
Yeah, I've compiled it, but the Java main dot class is already present in my terminal.
That's not an issue. Like it will override it.
Yeah, I have done it, but still it's giving me same error.
Okay. So is your class with
Java.
name as main, or have you edited it?
No, it's name as main. I'll share you the code with me. Oh, sorry, with you.
Yeah, please do that. Yes, this seems fine. It could be case that you have not compiled your code. Have you executed this Java C main.java command?
Yes. I've done it, but let's say I again try to do it.
Yeah, please try to do that because it's saying clearly that your main.class is not found.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, and while running your code, right, just write main, not main.class. When you are executing
Okay.
that Java command, write it Java main, then space separated values.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So others, those who have
Yes.
not tried it yet, let me provide the answer so that we are on same page and everyone is able to understand. So first, what we will try to do, we will compile our code. Okay, you are unable to load the Replit page. It says not responding. Okay. Maybe for time being, right, you can use another ID, online ID. You can try this one, ID 1. Mujtaba, it's for you. You can try it out. But later on, after our session, you have to execute these program in Replit. It could be just Replit environment issue. But for time being, right, because we want to code together, So please try to use another ID so that you are together with us and you are able to code along. Let me provide you another. Okay, fair enough. So we were trying to compile our code, and for that we will make use of Java C command, Java C main.java. Then post that we will try to run our compiled code. For that we have to execute Java, then name of that class, whichever is created, that is main. Then after that, whatever argument we want to pass. So that will be space separated value, what you need to pass here. And once you will do that, you will be able to see the output. So this is what you need to do. Is this clear for everyone how to pass the command line argument? Clear for everyone?
Hi, hello.
Yeah, hi, Yash.
Yeah, I have a doubt. When we type Java and only the main, right? Then which of the file is executed? Java.class or main.class or main.java?
That you should be able to answer. We have seen that activity in our previous session. We were trying to do hands-on together.
Yes, it's main.class, I think, right?
Yes, it was main.class.
Okay, so how the compiler will know that we have to execute that class?
That is internally done by your JVM. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay,
So what
because
happens?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happens, right? Whenever it tries to run the program, whenever JVM tries to run, it will always run .class file. It cannot run .java because that is not bytecode. Your JVM won't be able to understand that file itself.
Okay, means in the same folder in which we are currently in the present working directory, it search for the .class file, right?
Yes.
The JVM.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But say in case of Python and other languages, we have to mention that we are running main.python and like this, that main.py, then it will run like this. That's
Because
why
in
I got a little
Python,
confused.
specifically in Python, you don't have
Mhm.
this concept of compilation. In Python, right? You have this
Yes,
concept of
yes.
invocator. It invokes your program. It's not compiled altogether.
Yes, right. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Fair enough. So is this clear for everyone what we are trying to achieve here? How to pass the command line argument? Any doubts related to this?
Ma'am, I am trying to do this in IDE1.com, and it is saying that standard input is empty.
Okay, it's not allowing you to pass the command line arguments.
I cannot see any space to pass the command line arguments.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that ID doesn't support the command line. It would support the normal code. Let me just see it once. Just a second. I have not tried the command line argument from there. Yes, you can pass it. Okay, let it compile, then I'll confirm. Okay. Mhm. Maybe it doesn't have the command line argument. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't have. We should use replit only then in that case. Are you not able to load the replit?
Yes, ma'am, my replit is hanged. Its terminal is not responding.
Okay. Can you try in different browser?
Actually, I'm currently doing in that only. I was currently using uh, Chrome, but now I am trying to do it in Brave.
And you tried to refresh as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you are getting some suggestion to empty your cookies and all. Can you give it a try?
Yeah, sure.
Fair enough. So this was all about the command line argument, how to pass input as command line. And we have already seen that how to pass these values. We also tried it out for our main program. And same way, you need to first compile your code, then after that, execute that. So this is how you can pass as command line. Now, what to do if you have to read the input from user? What if you want to pass some input from user side? So in that case, right, Java provides us with something known as scanner. So you can make use of scanner to take input from user, and after that you can print those value or do some computation. So in this specific program, as part of this activity, we will try to make use of scanner. And syntax you can see here, scanner sc is equal to new scanner, then system.in. So this will be your syntax. After that, you are trying to read input from user. So we are taking 3 input from user, that is A, B and C. So in A, all will be integer. Since we are doing sc.nextInt, so it will take input as integer from user and it will store in value as A. Same for B. B is sc.in nextInt. We are taking B as input from user and storing it to integer. And at last, we are trying to do total of everything. You are trying to do sum up. So everyone, please give it a try and try to run this program and see if you are able to get input from user side. Let me provide the syntax. So is this syntax clear for everyone, how to take input from user, or any doubt around this?
Should we import the scanner package or does it work?
Yes, you have to import. Ayush, what's your question? SC scanner is equal to SC is equal to new line, this line, as in what you want to understand over there? So we have to import this package as well. Okay, yeah, I'll explain this line again. Anyone else, any doubt? Guys, please ask your doubts so that it's clear for everyone. I have a question from Ayush. He wants to understand this specific line. Anyone else wants to know anything? Any doubt? Okay, fair enough. I believe we have just one question from Ayush. Let me try to explain this to him. What is system in? Okay, so system in means, okay, last session we saw that system out, right? So whenever you want to print something on console, so that time you will write system out something. You are trying to give some output. So I explained it in last class also. Out means you're trying to print something on console, and in means you're trying to take something values from the console. So that's why you have system in, take some input from console. So the scanner, right, it expects you to take some input from the console, and then after that it will store it to integer values or string values depending upon your scenario. So in this specific scenario we are taking input from console, and we are trying to store it into integer values. So that's why the scanner.s is equal to new scanner. We are basically creating a new object of scanner, and the scanner expects input from the command line. So that's why we have the system.in. Is it clear now? This new keyword is present here to create an object. We will see concept of object, what is object exactly, in the upcoming session. But as of now, is the syntax clear? What are we trying to achieve?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, anyone, please feel free to interrupt and ask your doubts. Okay, next int means whatever was the input given from user, you are taking that next integer, whatever was the input from user, and you're storing it to A. Then after that, again, you will take input from user and you will store it to B. So if you will see, we have three values, right? A, B, and C. So every time you will take input from user, and that next integer you will store into that variable. So last session, we were trying to directly store some integer values to A, B, and C, right? Something like this. Let me write down so that it is clear for everyone. They are able to visualize. So last session, we were taking input something like this. We were just hard coding it here. We were not taking input from user. But now using this next int, we are taking integer input and we are storing it into A. Is it clear now? Anyone else? Any doubt? And is everyone able to run this program? Okay, fair enough. I see that decent amount of people are able to run it. Meanwhile, I'll also try to run this code and make it visible for everyone. So this is how you will take input. So in this first line, if you see this first line, we are just creating a new object for scanner. Then after that, this is just a normal print statement on console. Just imagine a scenario, client server side. Pranjal, we have different values for different thing. So for string, right, you will have next, sc.next. Similarly, if you'll do sc dot, right, you will be able to see there are different values to get different input from user. Like for example, for float, you will have next float, something like that. You have different values to take input. Here, since we are taking input as string, we have written as int, it is next int. Otherwise, you can just directly write next, then it will take input as string also. So you have different methods available to take input. Does that answer your question? Yes, we have next line for string Sagnik. Okay, fair enough. So let me try to explain this program again, for in case if someone was not able to understand, then we will move ahead. So this first line, we are creating object for scanner. And what does next int means? Next int means system in means we are trying to take input from user side through command through console. System out means print something on console. System in means take some input from console. Now in this next line, if you will see, we have system.out. So what do you think this will mean, sys out? Can someone answer? Guys, feel free to unmute yourself and answer. Yes, it will print something on console. So if system.out is going to print something on console, so system.in will take input from console. Now in our console, we will be able to see this enter first number will be getting printed. Post that, if user enters the first number, we are going to take that input from user and store it into some variable. Then in next line, again, we will ask user to input something, our client to enter something. Then after that, we will take that value from the client side and we will store it into next value, next variable. Again, we will take input from user and store into next variable. Post that, we will just do a sum of all those values and print it to user. So let's try to run this program.
Ma'am, just like the same, we have taken the input in earlier program.
Yes, in previous program, right? We were passing values as command line.
Yeah.
So that time your code was not executed. Before that only you pass those values. So those values were stored into your args. But now these values are not stored into your args because you have started your program. After that, you are taking input from your client.
And this time we have to again compile the program with Java.
Yes, you have to compile your program and start your main program.
Okay. Ma'am, we okay, I got it.
Yes, and this time you won't pass values as command line. Once your program starts, right? After that, you will pass the values directly.
Yeah, sure.
Something like this.
Sure.
Is it clear now for everyone? Okay, fair enough. So these were some programs related to taking the input from user or passing the values from the command line. So these were some of the basic concepts. Using scanner, we were able to take the input from user and we saw how to take the values.
How to include the scanner class with the java.util?
Yes, you have to import that package. Java.util.star, this one. I have provided that in chat window. Let me provide it again. Yes, you have to import this package. Okay, fair enough. Now let's get started with some more coding. Guys, in today's session, right, based on whatever feedback and discussion we have, I'll try to make everything more virtual so that you guys are able to visualize stuff. And apart from that, everything we will do hands-on together so that in case those who are not even able to understand, they are also on same page. So this is how we will proceed in today's session. Okay. Guys, please open this code word link. This is a very basic program which we are going to write together. So if you'll open your code words link, right, you will see option as train. For me, it was coming as train again, but for you guys, it will come as train. So is everyone able to load this page? Guys, feel free to unmute yourself and answer also. That also works fine. Yes, you have to click on train in order to see the problem statement. Okay, now let me give a brief about this problem statement so that everyone is able to understand. So as part of this problem statement, you are supposed to stay hydrated. And for every 0.5 liter of water, right, you can do, okay. So this problem statement is related to cycling. So in order to stay hydrated during bicycling, you are supposed to drink 0.5 liter of water per hour. So now you have to identify how many liters of water you will drink for this much given of time duration. So every 1 hour, you are going to drink 0.5 liter of water. So given the time, so if you will see, we are taking input as time, you have, Pranjal, on the right hand side top corner, you will be able to see the train option somewhere here. Once you will click on the link shared by me, you will see on the right hand side train option. Is everyone else able to see the train option?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Pranjal, can you help Ayush also, since you were able to find out?
Yeah, you need to click on the link shared by ma'am.
There it is.
Okay, if you open CodePair, right, I have shared the link in chat box. Open that link. Then after that, on right hand side, you will be able to see the train option. Do you want me to provide link again, or you will just scroll 2 or 3 chat above? You will be able
Got
to
it.
see that. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
okay,
Got
fair
it.
enough. Everyone else able to find it out?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Then let's proceed with this problem statement. Let me again explain this problem to everyone. Okay, so as part of this problem, right, you are okay. In this problem statement is related to stay hydrated. It means that someone who is doing bicycling, for that person to stay hydrated, he should drink 0.5 liter of water every hour. So as part of input to your method, you will be given the time duration, and you have to find out how many liters of water that person would have drank in that time interval. So if you will see some examples given to you on the left hand side, the one I have highlighted, there you will see if person was for 3 hours, he will drink 1 liter of water. So it means that we are dealing with the concept of a floor. We have to minimize it, like since it was 1.5, you have to minimize that to 1. Then if someone was there for 6.7 hours, he would have drank 3 liter of water. Then for 11.8, he would have drank 5 liter of water. So this is a very basic problem. You have to just figure out how to return the integer value. And for every 1 hour, he will drink half liter of water. So everyone, please give it a try. It's a very basic problem. You will be able to do it in 2 minutes. And please send your answer directly to me so that others are also able to give it a try. Please don't paste it in chat box directly for everyone. Paste it to me. Few answer needs some modification. Guys, please try to run your program. See, let me explain how to use this tool so that after that you guys are able to verify your answer. So if you will see on right hand side, extreme corner, you have test button. So if you will see, there is already sample test cases provided to you. So once you will click on that test button, right, it will run some test cases and show that your answer is correct or not. So please try to do that, because I see few answers are not correct. So please try to do that as well. Click on this test button and see if you are able to get the correct answer. Then after that, you can click on attempt. If test succeeds, then you can click on attempt. Everyone, please try it out. Okay, I see that most of you guys have already tried it out. And is everyone able to get the correct answer? Have you tried with test? Okay, most of them are correct actually, whatever answers I see. Fair enough. Good. Since many of you have already tried it, let me also provide an answer for those who are still trying to solve it. So as part of this problem statement, you are already given time. And once you are provided with time, you have to figure out how much liter of water they are going to drink if they drink half liter of water every 1 hour. So we have to just basically divide it. You have to take int value and divide your problem. So this is all you need to do. Time divided by 2. And since we need the answer in integer, you are going to typecast it. Guys, those who haven't tried it, please try it out now. Abhishek, have you clicked on the link shared by me? If you will click on that, you will reach to this problem itself. Please don't open the CodeWords link directly. Please open the link shared by me. Now, is everyone able to get the answer? Shall we proceed ahead? Any doubts related to this? Okay, I believe everyone is able to get the answer. Fair enough. I see multiple no's. So I think everyone is able to get this. Okay. Okay, now we have seen some of the problems, right? So now let's try to understand some basic concept, and later on around this also we will try to see some problem statement. Okay, so let's quickly look into the arithmetic operators and their precedence. So these arithmetic operators, whatever are there in Java, this is something which we have already known. If you are from the mathematical background, you would already know this concept, BODMAS rule and the precedence of operations. So I guess everyone will be familiar with this, but let me just reiterate it once. So for any arithmetical operation, we have brackets, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus, that is remainder operation. So the order of precedence is always given the maximum to the bracket. Then you have division, multiplication, and modulus operation. And the least precedence is given to your addition and subtraction. So this is the normal phenomenon which is followed all across everywhere. Same thing is followed in Java as well. Any doubts related to this, or is it clear for everyone? Okay, fair enough. So since we have already seen the concept of arithmetic expressions, so let's try to do some hands-on. Before we do the coding, can someone try to answer the first one? What do you think will be the output for first? 4?
4, I guess.
Yes, great. It will be 4. How about next one? 15 into 5 into 15? Yes, correct. How about third one?
0.
Yes, correct. Since we are talking about remainder, so it will be 0. How about fourth one? Okay, yes, that is also correct. How about fifth one?
Hello, cryo, without space.
Yes, correct. And okay, so this concept, right, I guess we haven't covered yet. So this concept is known as string concatenation in Java. We are trying to take two string together, and if we place a plus sign in between them, so since string is not a numeric value, it's not going to do any addition or something on that. It is going to just concatenate your strings. Whatever value you will place with plus sign, right, it will just concatenate those strings. So here we are concatenating those strings. How about next one? Okay, we have a question here. Space is already there. So Abhijit, where do you see the space here? Are you talking about the plus sign? There we have provided the space.
I think just before the C.
Okay, yes, just before the C we have a space. Yes, yes. Thanks for that minute detail. Thank you. Thanks, Abhijit. Yes, we have a space. Then that space will be carry forward.
Ayush,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, it was Ayush. Okay, thank you. And how about the next one? 3 plus 10 into 2. Okay. We have two answers here, 23, 26. What do you guys think will be the correct answer? Twenty-three, 26, what will be correct answer?
26.
And how it will be 26?
Because it will first compute bracket and then multiplication.
Okay, in the last one, we have bracket. I'm talking about second last one. Second last one.
23.
Yes, correct. And how about last one? Yes, 26. So since we have already seen these values, can we try to do a practical as well? Please open your Replit account and try to print all these. Just try to do a hands-on as well. Now we are able to see what will be the values associated to it. So I've already provided the print statement to everyone. So please try to run this code and verify your answers. Okay, so let me also do the coding along with you all. I guess it will be very much straightforward. So I'm also going to get started with it. So this is what we will get as output for string concatenation as well. See guys, string is a very vast concept in Java. So when we will come to string concept, right, I'll make sure to cover the most important interviews question around it. So one of the important interview question around string is concatenation. So, so there could be multiple questions asked to you, especially in telephonic round. Mostly if you'll see for any companies, right, during the telephonic round, they tend to ask you programming related question, specifically for any programming language. So that time you should have hold of any of the programming language. So they could ask you questions around string concatenation. They might ask you what will be the output of this one. Why do we place a plus sign? Is there any other way to do this? Or they can ask you what will be the value stored in the string pool, all those questions. Later on, I'll talk about the concept of string pool and all. It's not going to get covered in today's session. But yes, a string is a very important concept in Java. And you can expect lots of questions around string for sure. Related to immutability of a string, all those concepts are anyway going to be taught to you in cryo. But yes, just remember one thing, string is a very important concept for your interview preparations as well. You can get lots of question around string for sure. So again, I'll repeat myself. Do we have any questions related to this point, or is everyone able to code along? Guys, feel free to ask your doubts. Okay, fair enough. I believe everyone is able to understand so far. So let's try to understand few more concepts what we have in Java. That is unary operator. So when you hear this term unary, what do you think? What do we mean by unary? We know binary, we know ternary. What do we mean by unary? Just in general, it's nowhere related to Java, but in general, what do we mean by unary?
Single operator, which takes single operand.
Yes, correct. Which takes single operand. So that is known as unary. So even in Java, we have unary operators. So there are multiple unary operators provided in Java. That is plus, minus, double plus, then double minus, then after that exclamation mark. So let's try to understand each and every of these, and we will try to do coding also for each and every one, so that we are completely thorough with these concepts. Okay, so first one, this plus sign, it means that you are going to have a positive integer. Even if you don't specify a plus sign, it is considered as a positive integer only. But if you will specify explicitly a plus sign also, that will be considered as positive. Then again, after that, we have a minus sign. That means that it is going to negate your expression. It will be a negative number. Then we have plus plus, that is increment. You are going to increment your value by 1. Then after that, we have minus minus. That means that you are going to decrement your value by 1. Then we have exclamation mark, that makes the negation of your value, that you are going to negate it. If you have a positive value, it will make it negative, or if it is a negative value, it will make it positive. So these are the various unary operators. We will see each and every unary operator in the next slide. We will try to do coding also, so that in case if we have any doubts, right, that will be rectified. Okay, so let's try to do some coding now. And before that, let's try to discuss the answers also. So this is how you are going to declare the first one. That was the positive sign. So if you will see in the third line, this is how you are going to declare with the plus value. In case, even if you don't specify that positive, it will always consider it to be positive only. So what do you think will be the output of first system.out.println statement? Guys, everyone please try to answer these. These are very basic concepts. So I believe everyone should be able to answer. One, yes, that's the correct answer. Now coming to the next one. If you look at the next line, we are doing result minus minus. So what do we mean by result minus minus? Because we are declaring result first, then after that 2 minus sign. So what do you think it will do? Zero? Yes, that's the correct answer, 0. Okay, so with this concept, right, there are two things to cover. That I'll do in next slide, but as of now, leave it as 0. Okay, then after that, we are again doing that result plus plus. So what will be value here after that line? Yes, perfect. That's the correct answer. And in next line, we are just negating that value. Result is equal to minus of result. So what will be the output? Yes, minus 1. Okay, and in next line, we have just initialized the value as false, and we are trying to print it. What will be the value? Yes, 0. And how about negation of success? We are trying to print the Boolean values. So Boolean is going to be your positive, true, and false. So how about success? What it will be printed for the first one without negation of success? What we are going to see as value? False. Yes, that's the correct answer. We will see output as false. And how about next line when we are trying to do the negation? Yes, it will be a true. That's the perfect answer, what I was expecting. But now let's try to do the coding also. Let's not stick only to the theoretical part. We will try to do coding also and verify if we were correct or not. So everyone, please open your Replit account. I've already provided the code snippet. Please try to execute this. Okay, Abhishek has a question here. Will false will be printed or 0? See, Abhishek, we are not doing any sort of typecasting, so it will print value as false. But in case if you'll do typecasting, you can do that as well. And in that case, it will print the accordingly value, 0 or 1. Is everyone able to run this code? Fair enough. Let me also code along so that everyone is able to verify their answers. Fair enough. So this is how we will execute our program, and we have seen all the unary operator. So this was the very basic concept around this. Now let's try to look into some other concept around this. That is post increment or pre increment. So if you will see the program on right hand side, we have I initialized to 3. Then after that, we are incrementing the value and we are trying to print that value. But in the first line, this is I plus plus, but later on we are trying to do plus plus I. So there is a difference between I plus plus and plus plus I. So can we try to identify that what will be output for each and every line? Let's try to do that together. But I've just mentioned one point here. There is a difference between I plus plus and plus plus I. So keep that in mind and please try to answer. What will be the output for first S out? First one, what do you guys think will be output? 4 or 3? I see both answers there. It will be 4 or 3? 4? 4? Okay, fair enough. And in next line, we are trying to do plus plus I. So what will be output at next line with print statement? 5. Okay, fair enough. 5. Then how about next line? In next line, we are doing the increment plus plus I. We are trying to print the plus plus I value. So what will be output there? 6. And how about next one? Sys out with I plus plus. Will it be 6 or 7? 6. Okay. And how about the last line? 7. Okay, fair enough. Yes, that's the correct answer. Actually, I see that everyone was able to answer it correctly. But let me explain the concept for folks who are somewhat new to the programming and they don't know the post increment and pre increment. Is anyone on that doubt? Feel free to ask your question like what is the difference between post and pre? Because I see that most of the folks were able to answer it correctly, but those who don't know, can they ask their question if they want this explanation? Yeah, sure, Ayush, I'll explain it once. Okay, fair enough. See, in Java, right, or in most of the programming languages, we have this concept of post and pre-increment with unary operator. So once you will do I plus plus, what it tends to do, it will first print the value, whatever it has, then after that it will do the increment. But in case of plus plus I, first it will increment the value, then it will do the assignment operation. So there are two phases to any operation. Okay, leave this syntax for now. Let's come to the basic. Let's go back to the basic again. Okay, so there are two phases for everything. Like take this only as example. So there are two phases. First, you are assigning a value. So what are we trying to do in this one? We are assigning some value. But in next case, if I want to increment this value, what I'll do? Result plus 1. So in this particular scenario, in the first line, I was just assigning a value to a new variable. But in next line, I'm incrementing that value and then I'm reassigning to same variable. So if you will see this part on the right hand side, I'm doing an increment operation, and later on the left hand side, I'm assigning that incremented value to my result. So in case of I also, right, let's take example of I. This is just a normal assignment operation. But when I do I plus plus, what happens in this scenario? It has to do increment as well as assignment. Is everyone able to understand this? It has to do two operations, increment and assignment. Guys, please answer. Comparing to the line number 6, in line number 8 also, do we have two operation, increment and assignment? Guys, feel free to. Okay. Okay, fair enough. I guess everyone is able to understand this part. Like we have two operation, that is assignment and increment. So here, when we have this post I plus plus, that is postfix as I plus plus. So in this scenario, the assignment happens first and then increment happens. But in case of plus plus I, the increment happens first and then assignment happens. So this is the very major difference, both plus I plus plus and plus plus I. So here in line number 8, assignment happens first, assignment, then increment. And here in next line, increment, then assignment. So this is the major difference. So that's why if you will see the previous program, what we saw so far, we had a difference here. So in, okay, let me write the program, then after that it will be clear for everyone. Let me write out the program. Let me provide this program in chat box as well, so that everyone is able to code along. So let me comment out everything for time being. So if you will see in my line number 15 and 16, why we have difference in output, both will print as 6, because in line number 15, we are doing the increment first, we are doing the increment first, then assignment. So the output of sysout will be the assigned value. The assigned value will be 6 here. But in line number 16, the assignment happens first. So once the assignment happens, the value was 6 only. So that's why the print value will be 6. Then after that, increment happens. So that's why you won't be able to see the incremented value. That's why in line number 17, you will be able to see the incremented value. So this is the major difference between plus plus I and I plus plus. Now, is it clear for everyone? Fair enough. Now, guys, please give it a try. Try to run this program, whatever code I have provided. And I'll also try to run this. Is everyone able to get the output? Okay. Okay. Now we will again look into a basic concept related to operators itself, because we are mostly going to talk about operators and if else today. So let's look into another concept related to operators. See, these operators are also again the basic concept what we know so far. We have a greater than, we have less than, greater than, equal to. So these are like just to check if your values are greater than or less than or greater than equal to, less than or equal to, equal to. In order to do a equal to check, you have to provide double equals. Then if you want to verify if it is not equal to something, then you have to give negation, then equal to. So these are some of the relationship operators which you can use. Then apart from that, we have and or operations. So in case of and, right, we might have studied it during our course also. And operation means when both the condition, when both the logical operation holds true, then only it will be true. But in case if any one of those logical operation is false, it will make everything as false. But in case of or, it is exactly opposite. If any of the logical operation holds true, it will give an output as true. So for this, I thought it will be better to look into the gate combination, because that makes things much more simpler and easy to understand. So let's try to understand the and operation. For any operation, we can have either values as 0 or 1 Boolean values. So if both the values are 1, and is going to hold true only if both the values are 1. That is, both the values are true, because true is given value as 1. So if both the values are true, right, that is A and B, then only your output is going to be true. If any of these values are false, the output will be false, that is 0. So if you will see in first 3 combination, the value was 0, because among A and B, at least 1 was equal to 0. But in case of or operation, if any of those two values are 1, your value assigned to the output will be 1. That is, any of the value from A or B is true, then your output is going to be true. So if you will see, if it is 0 or 1, then also your output is assigned to be true. If it is true and false, then also output is true. If it is both true, then also output is true. So this is how your logical gate works. Any doubts related to this, guys? Okay, fair enough. Okay, there is one more concept associated to this AND and OR operation. So are you guys aware of short circuit operations? What do we mean by short circuit? What happens when short circuit happens? Guys, feel free to unmute yourself. What do you think is the short circuit operation in this logical operators?
In case of OR condition, if the first statement is true, then we did not evaluate the second part of the statement. So that is short circuit.
Yes, correct. And how about AND operation?
AND operation, we need to check both things. Yeah. So in AND operation, the first operation, if it is false, then we need not check the second part of it, because false and something is false.
Yes, that's the correct answer. That's what I was expecting. And I see few answers have come in chat box as well. And that is also correct. So what happens, right? Let me brief it again for everyone. So what happens, right, in short circuit operations? If you have first condition which holds true. So let's look into the gate again, which will make the things easier for us. Now, in order to get the OR output, we just need one, that is one true. So if first logic, whatever we have, that itself is true, can we conclude that our output is also going to be true? Do we need to verify the second one? Irrespective of whatever value we have for second one, our output is always going to be true. So this is known as short circuit operation. We are not going to verify the output for second condition, because we know that if first condition is true, my output is always going to be true. So this is the short circuit operation in case of OR gate. Now coming to the short circuit operation in case of AND. In case of AND, if first condition itself is false, then we can be 100% certain that our output is also going to be false. So we don't need to verify the output for second condition. So this is known as short circuit operation for AND. And this double AND and double equal to, right? They both stand for short circuit operations. Now, is it clear for everyone? Any doubts around this? Guys, feel free to ask your doubts. In case of any minor doubt also, please ask your doubts. Fair enough. So now we already saw that concepts around the logical gate and also some of the logical operators. So let's try to answer these very basic questions. So this is the first program given to us. What will be the print statement? What and all values do you think will be printed for the first program? Comparison demo. Just write down the print statement, whichever you think will be the print values printed. And also I forgot to cover one point. The thing which we covered in the last one, right? That short circuit operation. This is a very probable interview question. People tend to ask you, what happens in Java? This question I have actually heard in the telephonic round. And what happens, right? They will ask you, what happens in Java if your first condition itself is false when you are trying to do the AND operation? What will Java do? Will it verify the second operation, or what it will do? So you should be knowing this, like what are the various type of computation which Java tends to do in order to enhance the performance. It is sort of performance enhancement only, right? Because it is not going to evaluate the second condition. So this is the performance enhancement which Java has done, and you can be asked these questions. That's why I covered that concept in depth, because this is something which you should remember for sure. Okay, now coming back to this problem, guys, please write down the answers, whatever you think will be printed. For value 1, we have assigned the value as 1, and for val2 we have assigned the value as 2. So what do you think will be the output? Which all print statement will be printed? We have a total of 5 print statement. We have total of 5 print statements. So what do you think will be printed here? Guys, I'm talking about the left hand side one. We have total of 5 val1 and val2. Don't look at the next one. First one, comparison demo. Please look at the comparison demo instead of conditional demo. Second, third and fifth, second and fourth, second and fifth, 2, 4 and 5. Okay. Okay, I see we have mixed of answers. Second, fourth and fifth, second, third and fifth, second, fourth and fifth. I guess most common was is second, fourth and fifth. Okay. Okay, I won't provide the answer for this. Everyone, please try to write this code. I'm giving this code to everyone. Please write this code and see what output do you see. So value 1 is equal to 1, value 2 is equal to 2. Is value 1 equal to value 2? Is it equal? No. So this print statement won't be printed for us. Now in second condition, we are checking that value 1 is not equal to value 2. So will this condition hold true? Yes. So this will be printed for us. Now in next line, we are saying that val1 is greater than val2. So 1 is greater than 2. Is it true? No. So this will not be printed. Next line, we are saying that 1 is less than 2. Is this correct? Yes. So this will be printed. In next line, again, we are saying that 1 is less than equal to 2. Is this correct? Yes, correct. So this will be printed. So we will see that second, fourth, and fifth are getting printed. Now, can everyone give it a try? Please try to code this also.
How fifth is getting printed because it's is less than equal to now, so that's why.
Yeah, we are saying that either it can be less than or equal to. So even if it is less than, it will get printed. We are saying that less than or equal to. Abhishek, you can write new logic. Actually, you can just create a new file. In case if you don't want to override, you can create a new file. Yes, yes, that's the correct answer, Ayush. I guess everyone is able to do this, right? Everyone is able to print this. Now let's move to the next activity, which is on the right hand side. So in this right hand side, we are looking into the and or operation with source circuit value. So again, val1 is initialized to 1 and val2 is initialized to 2. We are saying that is val1 is equal to val2. Okay, 1 is equal to 1 and 2 is equal to 2. Is this condition correct? Is this condition correct? 1 is equal to 1 and 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so this print statement will be printed. Now in next line, we are saying that 1 is equal to 1 or 2 is equal to 1. So 1 is equal to 1. Is this pass correct? How about 2 is equal to 1? Is this correct? So first part is true and second part is false. So what will be the output? True or false? Will it be true or false? First logical operation, we are getting value as true, but for second one, we are getting it as false. So what will be overall output? True? Yes, our output will be true. So let's try to do hands-on for this one as well to verify if our analysis is correct. Let me provide this code to everyone. Guys, is this problem statement clear to everyone? Anyone in doubt with the syntax or how we are running this program?
So as part of optimization, Java will not see the second condition, value 2 equal to 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Not always. Like if it has already achieved 100% surety that it will be true or false, then it won't check the second one. So let me explain this to you. In the second one, right? When Java sees that 1 is equal to 1 in second if condition, now Java will see that if 1 is equal to 1, and it will see that it is OR operator. So now it is 100% sure that our output is going to be true only, because in case of OR operation, true or false is always equal to true only, right? So in this case, it won't see the second one. But in case if our condition was somewhat different, if val, okay, let me write down this code. If I'll talk verbally, I guess you guys won't be able to visualize it. Okay, now let's change this logic. Now here, val1 is equal to 2. Is this true or false? Is this true or false?
False.
Okay, now since this is false, now it will see that it is OR operator. So now Java knows that this part is false, but in order to make it to be true, we need at least one true. So now it will go ahead and verify the second condition. In this case, it will verify second one. But in previous one, when it was set to 1, in that case, no need to verify the second condition. Is it clear now?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Anyone else wants to understand anything around this? Okay, for if operation to happen, right, we always need to have some conditional check. Sagnik, this is to answer your question. Whatever arithmetic operation or whatever you are trying to do, post that you need to have some conditional check in order to get the Boolean values, true or false. For normal arithmetic operation, you cannot do if and else part. Fair enough. I guess everyone was able to code this. Now let's start with some other conditional checks. So these are your if-else statement. So I guess everyone might be familiar with the concept of what is if and else. But I'll try to make it more basic and more clear for everyone to understand this. Okay. So if and else, right? These are your conditional check. You are always not required to write if along with else. You can also have if statement only in your programming. So here, right, with if you will specify some condition, and once that condition holds true, then only your logic inside that is going to get printed. So here we have a very basic example. If 20 is greater than 18, then only this logic is going to get printed. So this is how if condition works. Now coming to the if else part. So in case of if else part, if condition is not true, so else part will get executed. If condition is false, for example, in our previous one only, here 20 was greater than 18, so this part was getting printed. But now in case we say that 20 is less than 18, so if we just change this condition, if 20 is less than 18, so this won't hold true, right? So in that case, for sure, it will go into the else condition and else block will be printed. So here we have an example. Time is initialized to 20. Now since 20, we are saying that if 20 is less than 18, then print me good day. But in case if 20 is greater than 18 or equal to 18, print me good evening. So what do you think will be output here? Good day or good evening? Guys, please answer. What do you think will be output here? Good day or good evening?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, because our if condition doesn't hold true. So by default, else part will be executed in this particular scenario. So we will see output as good evening. So this was one of the very basic example. And now you can also have nested if else. One if condition, but after that you can have another condition check, and after that else part. So let's take example of that code as well. First we have time initialized to 22. If 22 is less than 10, then print good morning. If 22 is less than 20, then print good day. Else, for any other scenario, print good evening. So what will be output here? Yes, again, it will be good evening, because for both the condition check, that is at if condition and else if condition, both are false. So it will ultimately go to your else part and execute your else condition. So this is how your if else loop works. It will look for the positive scenarios. If it suffices that condition, it will print that, else it will go to the else part. Is this syntax clear for everyone? Everyone able to understand this, how if else works? Guys, those who are completely new to programming, please answer. Is if else clear to them? Is anyone here who is completely new to programming? And please answer. Is it clear? Fair enough. Okay. I believe people are able to understand this, how if else will work. We will also do a basic coding around this so that syntax is also clear for you guys. Okay, this is how the conditional check works, if and else conditional check. And we also saw the nested if else condition. We saw some example and we were able to run that code as well. Now let's do some activity together. Let me provide this link in chat box. Okay. Okay, so let me explain the problem statement. Everyone is able to open this link, right? Everyone is able to open this link. You have to click on train again. Click on train part. Now, let me explain this problem statement. So as part of this problem statement, you are given 3 input. So if you will see this method on the right hand side, it expects you to have 3 input. That is distance to petrol pump, then miles per gallon and fuel left. So this miles per gallon shows that how many miles you can travel with the amount of fuel you have. And this last term, that is fuel left, shows how much fuel you are left with. So you have to figure out if you will be able to reach to petrol pump with the amount of fuel you are left with and the mileage you have. So you are given with the mileage and fuel left with you, and you have to find out if you will be able to reach to the petrol pump or not, given that you are provided with the distance to petrol pump. Is this problem statement clear? And in case if you are able to reach to the petrol pump, print true. And in case if you won't be able to reach to petrol pump, print false. Is this problem statement clear to everyone? Guys, if the problem is not clear to everyone, please ask your doubt. I'll clarify it once again. So basically this problem statement has 3 data, that is distance to petrol pump, then miles per gallon, then after that fuel left. So you have to figure out with the amount of fuel left and what is the miles per gallon, if you are able to reach to the petrol pump or not. So you have to figure out basically this part. Now everyone, please give it a try. Yes, Agnik, that's the correct answer. Others, please try it out and paste your answers in chat box. I'll wait for 1 minute. Okay. Okay. I see that multiple answers have come in chat box and all are on correct lines actually. Let me provide the answer for everyone, and I'll explain it as well. So see, as part of this problem statement, you are given the distance to the petrol pump, then miles per gallon and fuel left. So once you will multiply the miles per gallon and fuel left, you will get the petrol distance, how much distance you can cover. So if that distance you can cover is greater than equal to distance to petrol pump, then you have to return true. And in case if the distance is less than distance to petrol pump, it will be false. So that's all you were supposed to do. You were supposed to calculate how much distance you can cover with the fuel left and miles per gallon. And you have to compare that with two distance of petrol pump. That's all. Is everyone able to understand this problem? Guys, feel free to interrupt in case if someone is not able to understand, they want me to repeat it. Is everyone able to understand this? Okay, fair enough. I assume that everyone is able to understand because I don't see any concerns. So let's move to the next problem. Okay, now the next concept, right? Since we have already covered if else, so the next concept which comes is ternary operator. We saw unary operator, we saw binary operator. Now the third one is ternary operator. So in case of Java, we have this concept of ternary operations. So in case of ternary, right, first we will have a conditional check. Let me show some examples so that it's clear for everyone. Okay, so in case of Java, right, instead of normal if else, we can have a conditional check. And once that condition holds true, we will print something. But in case if that condition doesn't hold true, we will print something else. So this is something equivalent to your normal if else, but just that syntax would vary. So here you will have an expression 1, which will be your conditional check. If this expression 1 holds true, you will print the expression 2. But in case if expression 1 holds false, you will print the expression 3. So this is something similar to your if else. So if condition holds true, you will print expression 2, right? But in case if expression is incorrect, if condition is false, you will print expression 3. So this is something same over here as well. So in case if expression 1 is true, you will print expression 2. And in case if expression 1 is false, you will print expression 3. Is this clear for everyone? What is ternary operator? See, we are trying to do a normal comparison here. That is, if expression 1 is true, you will print the expression 2. If that is false, you will print expression 3. So this is how it works. So let's try to look some example before we do some coding. I have figured out this very basic example for everyone so that we are able to understand. So as part of this normal operation, right, you are supposed to find out the largest among two numbers. So you are given num1 and num2 and you have to find out the largest among those two. So this is your conditional check. If num1 is greater than num2, so what will be your output? You have to find the largest of two. What will be your output if num1 is greater than num2? Guys, what will be the answer? If num1 is greater than num2, what is the greatest among them? Yes, that's the correct one. Since num1 is greater than num2, so output will be num1. But in case if num1 is not greater than num2, then what will be output? Num2. Yes. So this is what we are trying to achieve here. If num1 is greater than num2, then print me num1, else print me num2. So this is how we can easily find out the greatest between two numbers. So this was a very basic example just to show how ternary operator works. Any doubt related to ternary operator? No? Fair enough. I believe everyone is able to follow, right? Guys, those who are not able to follow, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your doubt. See, these are the very basic concept. On these basic concept only, all those later session will be laid down. And from third or fourth session onwards, I'll try to cover the interview experience as well, based on my personal interview experience or whatever question I tend to ask in interviews. Okay, so now let's try to do some activity together. Okay, so now let's try to do some activity together. Ayush, I'll see your question after this activity. Like, I'll try to explain this activity to everyone, then I'll read out your question. Okay, don't think that it will go unnoticed. First, let me explain this problem statement to everyone. So as part of this problem statement, right, you are given the array of some input for your dogs, that is hardly any. See line number 5. Everyone please look into the line number 5. Let me provide this problem statement as well in chat box. Okay, so as part of this problem statement at line number 5, you are given some input to your dogs, that is hardly any, more than a handful, wow, there are lots of dogs, then 101 Dalmatians. Now you are given a conditional check at line number 7. So as part of this conditional check, right, if you have very less dogs available to you, then you will print hardly any, that is less than 10 dogs. Then you will print hardly any. In case if you have less than 50 dogs, you will print more than handful. In case if you have 101 dogs exactly, then you will print 101 Dalmatians. And in case if you have more than that many dogs, you will print wow, there are lots of dogs. So this is what you are supposed to do. But the problem statement is already given to you, and there are many syntactical errors in this code. So everyone please try to identify the syntactical errors here. There are many syntactical issues, so everyone please try it out. And in order to identify the syntax issue, right, try to click on test and you will see that it will lead to the syntax issues. Everyone please give it a try and paste your final answer. Whatever was the final code snippet, please paste that. I want to verify if everyone was able to do this or not. Ayush, coming to your question, can you print the error what you saw? And your complete code, how you have initialized those var and all? Have you initialized that var as Boolean? Yes, you have to initialize that var as Boolean because you are printing your output as Boolean. Okay, others please give it a try and paste your answers in chat box. Just see the Java syntax. You will see that there are many Java syntax issues. For example, in line number 3 also you have a syntax error, then line number 5 as well, and line number 7 especially you have many issues there. Try to rectify them. Guys, anyone able to get the answer for that 101 Dalmatians? Ayush, it seems to be working. Maybe you might have done some syntax error. Can you just verify it now? If you want, I'll paste the answer in chat box. Just verify it once. It seems to be working. It will work with ternary as well. Okay. Guys, anyone able to identify any errors actually? Please feel free to unmute yourself and answer it together so that we can do it now. So what do you think will be issue in line number 3? Anyone wants to try? Guys, feel free to unmute yourself because there are a lot many errors and it will make things easier for us.
It should be a int number and then curly braces of that method.
Yes, correct. Int number, then curly braces here. Since we are doing a curly braces here, then we have to end also. Now, how about line number 5?
It should be a strings brackets docs is equal to.
Equal to, yes, correct. Okay, yes, this seems to be fine. How about next line? Yes, we are missing this colon symbol here. Then after that, do you think all these brackets are balanced? Can someone try to balance these brackets? See here, if you will see that this bracket is nowhere closed. So that's why you will get errors, right? Just have a look here. You will see that these brackets are not balanced. Again, we have an opening bracket here. We don't have a proper semicolon, closing semicolon and all. So these brackets are not balanced. So try to balance this bracket. Then after that, in next line, we have to put a semicolon so that it will show the termination of line. Now let's try to run the test. Okay. Now if you will see here, it shows us some error as this method is not found. It is not able to find this method. So let's try to verify this. Do you think both the method names are same? The one we have given and the one in test cases? Do you notice some spelling errors? Guys, this is how you will do debugging in corporate also. In real life scenarios also, right? You will see these type of errors and after that you have to do debugging. So now if you will notice, the method names are not same. So we have to change the method name as well. Now again, try to run this. Now if you will see that, it is showing you clearly that there is some spelling mistake in Dalmatians. Can someone identify that now? What is the spelling issue in line number 5? Guys, please identify that and post it in chat box. I see there is one answer. Apart from that, anyone else able to identify? Yes, in place of O, there it has to be A. So let's rectify this and run our program again. Now we are able to pass the test case. Now everyone else, please give it a try now. Let me provide the answer in chat box. Everyone is able to get this, right? Any doubts related to this? Because these were very basic syntax which we have covered so far. I believe everyone should be able to get this. Everyone able to understand this? Guys, please answer. Is everyone able to understand? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so now we have seen the very basic concept related to if else. Now let's look into another syntax, which is switch case. So switch case is something which is used instead of if else. So in case of switch, right, you will have a condition, and for that condition you will have multiple values. Those are your cases. So whenever those cases holds true, that particular scenario will be printed. So we will look into the basic syntax for it so that everyone is able to understand. So is everyone able to understand what switch case is? Switch case is something similar to your if else. So you will have a statement which is known as switch. Now for that specific statement, you will have multiple values and your cases. So any of those cases, right, whichever holds true, that particular value will be printed. Let me show some example. I guess like this, no one will be able to visualize. Let me show some example. Okay, so this is a very basic example of switch case, how it looks like. In first line, in line number 6, you have a switch, which is a condition given to you. You have to find out the lower case. This is the statement given to you, lower case. Now, after that, in line number 7, you're saying that if this lower case is equal to A, then print me statement A, then print me the value as A. But if this lower case is equal to B, then print me value as B. And by default, if none of the cases holds true, then print me the default value, that is invalid character. So what do you think will be output here? for this particular program? Guys, please answer. What do you think will be output here?
A.
Okay. And why do you think only A will be printed?
And because it will break after that.
Okay. Okay. So let's try to run this. What will be output now? Since I have removed that break statement, what will be output now?
Default case also print. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Invalid character also will print.
Yes, correct. Sorry, I made a syntax error here. It should be string. Let me try to print this. Yes, I see that multiple answers have come in chat box and that are correct actually. So if we don't have a break statement, it will try to print all the values from the point it holds true. So that's why if we want to print a specific value, we need to provide the break statement. So that's the importance of break statement here. Now what will happen? Only A will be printed, rest all will be skipped. Okay, so let's look at one other case. Now what will happen here if the value was B? What will be output here? Guys, please answer. What if the lower case was given as B? What will be
Invalid
output?
character.
B and invalid character or only B?
B and invalid character.
Yes, yes, that's the correct answer. So is everyone able to understand this? Why do we need break and how switch case works? Guys, any doubts around switch case? Syntax or explanation or anything related to this?
Ma'am, when the lowercase letter is A, then why should it will print the B also?
Yes, this is how switch case works. What happens, right? If you're not providing a break, what will happen? Whenever it finds a true match, post that it will execute all the cases. So it holds true for B as well. What will happen if you have given letter as B? For A, it will skip that. But now since it has executed case B, post that whatever statements you have, it will execute everything. This is how switch case works. So that's why if you want to execute a specific scenario, you have to provide break here. That's not the case with if else. If else will skip the condition which doesn't hold true. But here, once one case matches, it will execute everything post that.
It will not check the case B when the lowercase letter is A. It will
just
print
check
the A.
Yeah, what it will do, it will just check case A. If the input was A, right?
Yeah.
It will just check case A, and if it matches, post that it will execute everything. It won't verify if it matches or not.
It won't verify any cases. It will print all the system out println.
Yes, correct.
After that.
Yes. So this is what we were verifying here. If you will just remove this break statement and see what will be output. Just do mix and match. I have provided all the code here. Try to do a mix and match. This is something interesting to learn. So that's why I have given this code to everyone. See here, if you see the output, since A matches, post that it will print everything else. This is an interesting concept. So please try to do this. Try to do this hands-on and try to understand. This could be a probable interview question also. The companies who tend to judge you on your Java skills, right? They will have these type of questions for sure. Especially on those multiple choice questions, you can have these type of questions. Is this clear for everyone? Any doubts around this? Guys, any doubt around this? Okay, fair enough. I believe there is no doubts. I see multiple no's in chat box. So switch case we have already seen. It first matches the case and then execute it. And in case if it is not able to find any suitable match, it will execute the default statement by default. So this is how you are going to write, and we have seen this syntax as well. And we have tried the various permutation and combination also around this program. Okay, what will happen if we miss writing the break statement? Can someone answer this? We have already covered, so I want you guys to answer it now.
All the statements will be executed.
From which place onwards?
From where it holds true, from there on, all the statements will be executed.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Sagnik, fall through as in, what do you want to say there? Like it will execute all the statement, that's what you meant to say? Okay, fair enough. Yes, it will execute all the statement once it sees a perfect match for it until it encounters a break. If it encounters a break, post that it won't execute for sure. But till the time it sees a break statement, it will execute all the lines of code. Okay, so we have an interesting activity now. So everyone, please open your Replit account and we will try to see the importance of break statement and how it works. So you are given a program. In this program, right, you have multiple cases, and the first case, the case you have to verify is if the val is equal to 1 or caps A or small a character, then you have to return alpha, or you can just simply print alpha. But if value is equal to 2 caps B or small b, then you have to print beta. And in case value is equal to C, you have to print gamma, and default will be invalid. So everyone, please give it a try. Try to write the syntax for switch case with these all cases. I'll provide this problem statement in chat box. Everyone, please give it a try. Guys, I have also provided the feedback link. Please provide your feedback for today's session. It actually helps us a lot. Based on the last session feedback, right? Like you guys want to have more of examples and some visualization. So I have tried to do both the things today. Please provide your feedback. And if you feel something is going in correct direction, please point out that as well, so that we can continue doing the same. Now coming to this problem statement, everyone please give it a try. So since this is a lengthy problem, so I'll also code along with you guys and try to explain it. Okay, so the problem statement says that we have a case, a switch statement as val. So if val is equal to 1 or a or small a, then we have to print value as alpha. But in case if case is equal to 2 caps B and small b, then we have to print value as beta. If it matches with 3 C or C, then we have to print gamma. And if it is 4 D or D, then we have to print delta. And for default, we have to print invalid. So first we will initialize a character as val that is equal to a. Then for all the 3 cases, right, we will have a common print statement, because for all the 3 cases we have to print alpha. And now post that, since we don't want to execute any other case, we will have a break statement. Later on, for 2, B and B, similar thing, since we want to have print statement as beta, we will print beta and don't want to execute any other cases. So if we will break out of the loop, later on same thing for C, we will print gamma and we will break out of this switch case. Later on same for 4, we will print delta and we will break out of this switch case. So this is how it is going to work. Any doubts related to this program? Guys, please ask your doubts. Any doubt related to this? Any doubt in syntax, how it is working? Guys, feel free to ask your doubts. I have provided the solution in chat box. Please try to run this. Guys, please try to run this code. Yes, Abhishek, I'll come back to your question. But everyone, please try to run this code. And since I've already provided this code, right, Abhishek, please try to run it and try to verify your answer, whatever you are expecting. That would be a great learning, actually. Please try to do that. Yes, Vishwajit, you can do that as well. Abhishek, did you try to verify what will happen? Okay, so let me provide you some hint. So if you will see our previous slide, right? So in this case, so default is always the last case. So it will be executed at last only. So even if you will change the order, just see what output do you get. If no case matches, then default statement is executed. Then see what output do you get. Try to do the order change and see what output do you get. Others, is everyone able to get the output? Any doubts related to this program? Okay, fair enough. So these are your take home exercise. As part of slide, this will be also uploaded. Please guys go through this take home exercise and try to complete. And I'll share feedback link again. Please provide your feedback. Please copy the feedback link, because as soon as we end this session, it won't be available. So please copy the feedback link right now and try to provide your feedback. If you see something is going in correct direction, please point out that as well. And if you see some modification are required, please point out that. Guys, that's all we had to discuss for the day. Thank you, everyone.
यार मुझे कोई कोड वॉर पे कैसे आईडी बनानी है ये बता दे यार.
Guys, please copy the feedback link, because I'll close the session. After that, it won't be available. Thank you, everyone.